I have cooked and tried a lot of dishes from the Philippines, and I have loved almost all of them.
Whoa, that shrimp paste is something else. It is very shrimpy.
So out of everything I've cooked, here are my top 12 favorite Filipino dishes that I've made that I think you should try if you want to explore the culinary landscape of the Philippines.
Hi, I'm Andrea and I'm from the Philippines. I live in Metro Manila and I'm here today to share with all of you a pasta dish from my country. Filipino-style spaghetti, or simply spaghetti as it's called, is noodles cooked just a bit over al dente, tossed in a bright red tomato meat sauce, then topped with a lot of creamy cheese. Filipinos like dishes that are very flavorful and that reflects on the way we do our spaghetti as well. The sauce is the star. So it will be quite heavy-handed, it will be very flavorful, very umami, very tasty, with some tang and sometimes a bit of spice in it. But what makes it most distinctive is that there will be a sweet flavor to it as well. It can be served alone, or it could be served with barbecued pork on sticks, fried spring rolls, or American-style fried chicken. It's so popular that the #1 fast food chain in the country, which is a local brand, has it on its menu. And most, if not all, foreign food chains that come to the country will have their own take of Filipino-style spaghetti on their menu. As a child growing up, I didn't think much of the dish, it was just always there, but now that I'm older, I actually find myself seeking this out as a comfort food now and then. So I invite everyone to try out this recipe. It will be an interesting, super flavorful take on something that's familiar, and the flavor profile will be a hit among kids, and for the adults, it will probably also appeal to the kid in all of us.
Filipino spaghetti. This is something that I have heard many tales about, so I'm pretty excited to try it. I got a hot dog on there. I really like this. It tastes kind of like a sweeter ragu. The hot dog was good. I mean, I love hot dogs, so I'm very biased. I think that I was expecting this to be sweeter, just based on what everybody has said. And maybe it's just the brand of Filipino spaghetti sauce that I bought. But it did say sweet on the label. I also feel like right now, for some reason, I'm really hungry. And so eating this is, it's just like really hitting the spot. I did read a couple stories about how this sauce was created, and what I gather is there are 3 main players in this. One is a woman named Maria Arosa, who was one of the first food scientists from the Philippines. She also created this sauce called banana ketchup when there was a tomato shortage in the Philippines. Cut to American General Douglas MacArthur, who was stationed in the Philippines. He wanted spaghetti with meatballs. That wasn't really available. And so some people in the kitchen used the banana ketchup and some cut up hot dogs and created Filipino spaghetti. I mean, that's what I read about online. And I think, what an interesting story, you know? The Filipino spaghetti sauce is definitely something that you can make from scratch, but if you wanted to buy it to try it, I'm leaving a link in the description to a shop where I found it available online. I'd like to jump in and thank the sponsor for today's episode, BetterHelp. BetterHelp is on a mission to make starting therapy easier. I have been in therapy for many years now, and I actually started with BetterHelp. Through them, I was able to connect with a therapist who I felt like really listened to me. When you sign up for BetterHelp, you will fill out a questionnaire that goes over things that you want to work on, and they will connect you with a therapist in most cases within 48 hours. I know that starting therapy can be difficult and can be scary as somebody who has been through it, but in my experience, it's something that's really helped me grow as a person. Things in life can get really overwhelming, and having someone to talk to without judgment is something that's really important. Finding the right therapist can be difficult, and on BetterHelp, you can switch as many times as you need, no questions asked. There are multiple ways to connect, including messaging, video chat, and phone calls, so you can find the method that feels right for you. They have over 7,000 reviews and a rating of 4.3 on Trustpilot, so they are a company that you can trust. So if you're looking to start therapy, go to betterhelp.com/Beryl, and that will give you 10% off your first month.
Hi, my name is Ira and I live in Davao City, Philippines. The dish that I want to talk about is tortang talong or eggplant omelette. If you'd had roasted eggplant, just imagine it in an omelette and you'll have a pretty good idea of how awesome it tastes.
In the first eggplant episode, I had to roast the big ones and they took so long, but these are going way faster. Yay. They say that a watched eggplant never chars, but it's not true. It's charring. It's actually not a saying. Whatever.
Although it's a vegetable dish, you'll feel like you're eating fast food because it's too tasty to be healthy.
This is my solution because the bottom didn't char, so I'm just holding the bottom. And I think it is working. Now it's getting soft. I don't think this is like the most efficient thing, but whatever.
Every Filipino family has their own version of this dish, and there's different ways to prepare it. Most people grill or roast it to produce that smoky eggplant flavor. Tortang talong is a staple in carinderias. Carinderias are like the diners, the roadside diners.
I have to flatten the eggplant and I realized I only roasted the one, so like I have one chance to get this right. I cannot mess it up. No pressure.
And most people order it because it's cheap
Ooh.
and filling.
Is that looking right? Looks crazy. Okay, great. Did it.
Usually costs around 20 to 50 pesos. So that's like under $1. I think tortang talong justifies why you have the word egg in eggplant because the combination of the two ingredients really complement each other so well. If you can make an omelette, you can make tortang talong. Just like other omelettes, you can make it as simple or as fancy as you'd like. Some people even add ground beef, ground pork, or more vegetables like carrots, spring onions. It's really up to you. I think everyone should try tortang talong because it's a comforting, savory, and filling dish that's cheap, healthy, and easy to make. Kaon ta!
Boy, oh boy, did I see requests for this in the comments under the first eggplant episode. And I'm excited to find out why. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That's freaking great. It's just in an egg wash, but it feels totally complete. Ira was definitely right about the difficulty in peeling it. I had a little bit of trouble with this one. This one's like not that easy to peel, and I wonder if that's because I let it cool for too long, whereas other eggplants, when I've done this, I've been like a little bit more impatient. It was cool that I actually picked up these eggplants from the Filipino grocery store because I did my Filipino shopping video. I need these for an episode. I like the idea that you could dress up this omelet with a bunch of different toppings. I do think it would be really good with like some julienne vegetables in it. Maybe even like a little Spam to give like a little bit more saltiness. That would be good. Even though grilling the eggplant is kind of a lot of work. Oh God. The butt's not charred and it's really hot and it's soft in the middle. I don't know what to do. It's a simple dish that I think is like delicious. That is not difficult to execute, it just takes like a little bit of passive time. Still on my face. I like what Ira also said about this putting the egg in eggplant. Why is it called an eggplant? It's not like it looks like an egg. Let's just answer this. There are no unanswered questions. Why is it called eggplant? Back in the 1700s, European versions of eggplant were white. Oh my God, they looked like eggs! This literally looks like an egg. Are you kidding? I like literally have to eat my words because I literally said, well, it's not white and it doesn't look like an egg. I guess they used to. And you can still grow that type of eggplant. That blew my mind.
Hi Beryl, I'm Christian from the Philippines. So I heard you're on the hunt for a new rice recipe. Well, let me introduce you to champorado, the ultimate Filipino breakfast, afternoon snack, and a rainy weather comfort food. Champorado is a delightful blend of Filipino and Mexican influences dating back to the Spanish occupation. Think of it as the Filipino cousin of the Mexican champorado.
When you cook glutinous rice, it gets really foamy on top. So you can see, oh God, it's about to roll over. Wait a second. Ooh, turn it down. Anyway, you can see all the foam on top and that's normal.
While Mexican champorado is a thick chocolate cake made with masa, Filipino champorado uses glutinous rice and is served as a hearty meal. This is one of those recipes that stood the test of time, as culinary culture slipped into the tables of the Filipino households. Champorado remained a favorite across all generations.
Okay, that is not working. I'm not sure what to do. Christian said that I can use brown sugar in the recipe, so because I can't figure out the palm sugar, I'm gonna use brown sugar. I'm just gonna show you proof. Palm sugar or brown sugar. So brown sugar it is.
It's like a warm hug in a bowl, perfect meal to start the day, a delightful afternoon snack, and a comforting rainy day meal. Champorado is a sweet chocolate porridge. Additionally, we make champorado using tablea, a block of chocolate made from untreated cocoa beans. It is slightly acidic with rich and earthy flavor. If you can find tablea, you can use cocoa powder or any dark chocolate bars available.
This tuyo is a fishy fish. Like, it is fishy. It smells very fishy. Look at it. I have to shred this. I don't really know how I'm gonna shred it. I'm just gonna try my best. In the picture, it was shredded, but like, I mean, it's working. I don't know, this one's hard. I feel like I could eat this whole. But there's a lot of little bones in here. Oh, this one's coming apart easily though. Oy, oy, oy.
It is served with milk on top. I like to make my champorado less sweet so I can adjust the sweetness by drizzling condensed milk when served.
I bought evaporated milk and condensed milk for the toppings, but apparently you really only need condensed milk. So disregard in the recipe image in the beginning that I put both in there. I mean, you could use both or you could use one or the other, but I'm just gonna go with condensed milk because like, yum, condensed milk. Yum, yum, yum.
Now, champorado experience is not complete without fried tuyo, a sun-dried salt-cured herring. We just flesh out the meat from the tuyo and dip it in spiced vinegar. This is a strong flavor for breakfast, so get a spoonful of champorado to cleanse your palate. The ingredients of champorado are mostly available on a typical grocery. I hope your viewers from other nations will give champorado a try, and may it bring the same comfort champorado afforded Filipinos since the colonial days down to our next generation.
This is a wild combination that I would never have thought of in a million trillion years of a dried fish with a chocolate rice pudding. So, let's see what's happening here. Now that's delicious. It's not too sweet. The dark chocolate really comes through. The glutinous rice has a little bit of chewiness to it, which I always love. Okay. Christian said to eat the fish on the side, and I just wasn't sure if you eat the whole fish. He said you could shred it, but I feel like I've seen the fish whole. I don't know. I feel like I could eat this fish whole probably. Either way. Dip it in a little bit of vinegar. Oh, yum! That's salty, but yum. Okay, now the pudding. That's good. I'll be darned. Hold up, wait a minute. First of all, I just really like the fish. I also do think that you can eat these little bones. I was very worried about eating the little bones, but they're so soft that I think it's okay. I like the fish. It's that amazing sweet and salty blend. I am shocked, to be honest. I was not sure how I was gonna feel about this. I think, to be fair, that I have a very open palate, and if you've seen the show before, you know that I tend to like most things. But this one gave me pause because it's just so far out of my comfort zone. I think the most surprising thing is how much I'm really digging this fish. And with the vinegar, it gives it that balance of the saltiness with a little bit of that vinegar sourness. Then you cut it in with the sweet but not too sweet pudding. I think it would be hard to find tuyo unless you live near a Filipino market, but if you do, I think this is super, super cool. And also, to be fair, if you like chocolate rice pudding, this is a delicious, delicious chocolate rice pudding to make. It's thick and the dark chocolate has that savoriness. It's just good, but it's really, for me, it's the fish. I want like a big piece of fish. In the vinegar you go. And the skin is good. Wow, Beryl, look at you. Philippines. This is awesome.
Hi Beryl, my name is Micah and I live in Pasig City here in the Philippines. The dish I want to talk about is kare-kare. Kare-kare is a peanut-based stew. It's been a subject of debate how the name kare-kare came about, but the most common iteration of its origin is that it is named after curry, after its resemblance to Indian curry. But kare-kare is not at all like the Indian curry.
For this recipe, if you're not gonna use the Instapot, it will take around 2.5 hours to get the oxtails done. With this baby, only 30 minutes. Love her.
It has this thick orange sauce, which comes from annatto seeds. It is both savory and sweet, and of course has a distinct peanut flavor from the peanut butter. The vegetables that we use are eggplants, pechay, which is similar to bok choy, sitaw or green string beans, and finally, puso ng saging, which literally translates to heart of a banana.
I've thought about a lot of blossoms in my life. I mean, look, I'm not always thinking about blossoms, but have I ever thought about a banana blossom? I feel like a banana just always was a banana, which obviously it wasn't. So here are banana blossoms. It looks like a big artichoke. Okay, is that what you were expecting? This does look like a big artichoke to me. Can you eat this raw? Probably, it's just a blossom. Tastes like an artichoke, kind of. Like, do we see the family resemblance? Oh, kind of. Cool. Super cool.
The meat that we usually use for kare-kare is beef or oxtail. It is best served with steaming hot rice. Eating kare-kare is quite comforting and it always reminds me of Christmases with my family.
If you decide to make this and you're like, what do I do with all the extra snake beans? Because you can't really just buy one snake bean. Go to my fermented foods episode. Make the fermented snake beans. They are so good. It was definitely one of my favorite dishes. Yum. Hiya.
In fact, many families have kare-kare with their Noche Buena or Christmas Eve spreads. You go to any Filipino restaurant and you can almost be certain that there will be kare-kare in the menu.
I really dislike washing vegetables. All right, but this one did have a little bit of dirt, so. All right, you're clean.
The peanut butter that we use for kare-kare is the one we buy from the palengke, but Lily's Peanut Butter, which is a local peanut butter brand, will do just fine. You can't have kare-kare without the peanut butter. It's what makes it unique. We don't really use peanut butter as the main flavoring ingredient in cooking aside from kare-kare.
This is the Lily's brand that I was recommended. Sweeter than American peanut butter. Very, very creamy. Wow, that is sweet. I was not expecting that. Okay, let's dump it in.
I also think the contrast between the peanut butter base and the bagoong really makes for an interesting eating experience. I think you should try kare-kare at least once, especially if you're looking into trying more Filipino food. It is both comforting and it offers something really unique. And although it is different from most mainstream Filipino foods, I think it's still distinctly Filipino. With that said, kain na!
I'd like everyone to acknowledge that I'm using a metal spoon. You all shamed me into this. That oxtail is so soft. Oh my God. Like melts in your mouth. This peanut sauce. is incredible. Definitely you can taste the sweetness of the Lily's peanut butter, which when I had it in the kitchen, I was kind of surprised by how sweet it was. I definitely would say if you're gonna make this, use a pressure cooker, otherwise it's gonna be annoying and long. If you've never had oxtail before, it is a very rich cut of meat that originally was seen as waste and was never sought after. Like, you wouldn't see it in restaurants, you wouldn't see it in like fancy homes. Today, however, oxtail has been realized, like people were like, oh, whoa, this is really good. And it's in tons of grocery stores, and it's just a delicious cut of meat that just takes time to tenderize. It's working, really working. If you want to remake this dish, but you don't want to order the international peanut butter, I just think you need to use a sweetened peanut butter. Not one of those all-natural ones where the oil is separated. Like, use Jiffy or Skippy or like one of those sweet style peanut butters. That's for the American audience. If you're not in America, find a sweet one. All in all, this wasn't that much work. It was a lot of passive time and just like some cutting. So it's delicious, perfect for a crowd. Definitely a crowd pleaser.
Hi everyone, my name is Erica and I am from Pampanga in the Philippines. A dish that I would like to share today is called queso sorbetes, which is also known as cheese ice cream. But here in the Philippines, we call it dirty ice cream. But it's not as dirty as you think. Queso sorbetes is a yellow ice cream with chunks of cheddar cheese. Sorbetes is usually served in tiny scoops on a wafer cone, plastic cup, or sandwiched between a bread pandesal. I will say the most popular way to eat it here is in between a bread. What I like about queso sorbetes is its unique flavor that contains cheese. It is sweet, creamy, and a little salty. For sure, cheese is the main star in this dessert. Sorbetes or dirty ice cream is very common here in the Philippines. We have street vendors walking or using a bike with a cart attached to it, traveling throughout the streets here. The nickname dirty ice cream was only used by parents to keep their children away from asking them for money to buy ice creams from these vendors. And to add even more to it, they didn't wear gloves while serving. So, they believed them. Everybody that I know here in the Philippines loves sorbetes, especially in a hot afternoon. It is very common here to use cheese in Filipino desserts. But queso sorbetes is definitely my favorite. I know it sounds different kind of ice cream than the usual traditional that you see in the stores. But the thing about it is that the cheese in the Philippines is more sweet and creamy than savory. So, for example, a common brand that we use here is called Eden Cheese, which is just that. I hope you guys enjoy.
I cannot believe that I have made cheese ice cream. Not only is this something that I've truly never heard of, but I literally made ice cream. The process was arduously long. I think in total I needed almost 3 days. So I really don't understand why anybody makes ice cream themselves. But are you freaking kidding? Oh, the cheese on top is the cherry on top. Oh my God. When I was talking to Maurice Cheese about which cheese to use, in the Philippines they use a cheese called Edam cheese, which is a very sweet cheese. You really don't find it here in the US. So they helped me pick out a sweeter cheddar cheese, which is the one that I used. It's got this salty meets creamy and sweet, beautiful pairing going on. I think this was worth the insane amount of hours. It's still kind of soft because I truly was at a point where I was like, okay, I'm not gonna wait for it to freeze anymore. You know, we're there. Oh, also, I had custard redemption. Those of you who have been watching the channel for a while may remember when I tried to make custard and I pretty much just made like scrambled eggs and cream. This time, I didn't make scrambled eggs and cream. So, we're learning, we're growing.
My name is Ira and I'm from Davao City, Mindanao, Philippines. For breakfast, we're having putumaya, a sticky rice dish, and sikwate, a traditional hot chocolate drink. Putumaya is sticky rice wrapped in banana leaves in a triangle shape. Puto, any steamed rice cake or dish, is termed for how it's prepared. And maya is a type of bird. It's always paired up with the beloved sikwate. Sikwate is a traditional hot chocolate drink that's made using tableo. Is different from normal chocolate.
I always think it's interesting how different cultures really use different ingredients. Like, we're using a lot of ginger today, and Indian cuisine also uses a lot of ginger, but in American cuisine, like, there's no ginger. A lot just happened. Was that a bowling ball that was dropped upstairs? Anyway, we're using a lot of ginger today, and in the US, I feel like we don't really use any ginger. But if you're interested in ginger, I did an entire episode all about how ginger is used, and it's great and fun, and there are some really interesting dishes in there.
If you remember eating champorado, it has a similar flavor profile, rice and chocolate. And everyone loves rice and chocolate, right? I want to feature putumaya because when you talk about common Filipino breakfasts, people only talk about tapsilog and champorado. But here in the South, especially Visayas and Mindanao, putumaya is a staple breakfast dish.
Oh my God, so cool. They're huge!
There's something about drinking hot cocoa at 5 a.m. by the roadside with all the cars passing by and eating it with other people doing the same thing. It's oddly calming. You should try putumaya and sikwate because it's always great to have something comforting, something warm early in the morning before things start getting busy. Mamahal ta!
I feel very proud of these. They look so good. I'm also very excited to eat this because they smell so nice. Sticky rice with coconut. This is a great breakfast. Try some sikwate. That's like the best hot chocolate I've ever had. And there's no milk in it. It's sweet and has like, the chocolate kind of coats your lips a little bit because it's thick, but the drink itself isn't thick. The chocolate just has like a thick flavor to it. I'm gonna have a bite of this with a little mango. That's a great combo. Leigh and I were saying that this breakfast looks like where it's from. Like, you're not mistaking this for a breakfast from Eastern Europe or Western Europe for that matter, even South America. This looks like a Southeast Asian breakfast. It has such a tropical feel and look to it. Honestly, using the Instapot, the sticky rice was really easy to make. It took 12 minutes and then natural release for 10 minutes, and you just need sticky rice and coconut milk and some ginger. Even though I don't think the banana leaf is doing anything for the flavor of putumaya, I definitely think it's doing something for the visceralness of it, the texture of it in your hands, the smell of it when you're eating it. It adds an element that's not about flavor, but more about experience. I love this as a breakfast. It's filling, the rice is gonna give you energy. It's sweet, but not too sweet. And the sikwate is nice. I also want to say everybody always asks about this mug. It's made by an artist. Her name is Julia Pott. She has a really amazing show called Summer Camp Island. It's a cartoon. But unfortunately, this was limited edition, but I would definitely recommend you check her out because her stuff is really cute. As a breakfast, I love it. It was simple and something I would definitely recreate.
Hey Beryl, hey everyone. My name is Balagtas. I was born, raised, and currently live in the city of Manila, the capital of the Philippines. Today, I'd like to talk about a very simple coffee recipe, which I like to call citrus coffee. It doesn't really have a Filipino translation because it's not a uniquely Filipino recipe. Essentially, it's 3 ingredients: a cup of cold coffee, a few teaspoons of your favorite citrus concentrate. I like to use calamansi since calamansi is our local citrus fruit.
Simple syrup is actually really easy to make. I see it being sold all the time. To make it, it is literally 1 part sugar to 1 part water. So I'm doing 1 cup of sugar to 1 cup of water, and that's it. Just dissolve it in hot water.
But you can use any citrus concentrate that's available to you, like lemon. And finally, some sugar or a sugar substitute.
This can keep in your fridge for a good long while, so it's nice. You can make it and just have it for a rainy day. A coffee, a juice, a cocktail, whatever your fancy is.
What I like about citrus coffee is how refreshing it feels. Usually I'm a fan of iced coffee, and having citrus fruit in my coffee, it gives me a very fresh feeling, especially here in the Philippines where the heat is sweltering like all year round. Citrus coffee, the Philippines is actually one of the few countries that grows all 4 varieties of commercially available coffee, so a lot of us do drink coffee on a daily basis. It was only recently that cold coffee emerged here in the Philippines. With the rise of cafe culture and the rise of various international cafe franchises, people start to hang out in cafes. We spend a lot of hours just socializing and just bonding over friendship and just simply the good coffee.
I have never had coffee with citrus in it, but I know that I love the taste of calamansi. I've used it on the channel before, but I like that Balagtas said that you can use any type of citrus, so orange juice, lemon juice, lime juice. What's more citrus? Pomelo juice? Anyway, I don't think I've ever had an effervescent coffee, but I will say I am 100% team seltzer over flat water. Any day of the week, any moment of the day, nonstop, forever and ever. I love seltzer.
It would give me a bit of a taste of what Filipino coffee and Filipino citrus is like here. Tagay!
Balagtas? Cheers. I'm curious. That is so good. The effervescence is so delightful, and the calamansi adds so much brightness. I really did not have any expectation. I think I was just along for the ride, but the destination is incredible. I can say without a doubt that this will absolutely be a part of my summer coffee repertoire. I don't know if I could order this at a coffee shop, but I could definitely make this at home again. It's delightful. Any type of coffee would work. I just love an iced Americano, so that's why I went with an iced Americano. Wow, 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 wow. You guys should all really try this. Whatever type of juice you want, but I would definitely try this at home.
Hi Beryl, hi everyone. My name is CJ Baltazar, and I am currently living right now in the Central Valley, which is Atwater, California. So today, the dish that I want to share with everyone is called tinolang tahong. Tinola means broth or soup, and tahong means mussels. Now this is a very popular dish across the Philippines. This is a very comforting soup, and usually when people are sick, we make tinola.
So I just bought a knob of ginger, but the recipe here says 3/4 of ginger, but ginger comes in a million sizes, so I'm using my heart, and I feel like this is a good amount of ginger. Yeah. Oh, one more slice. Nah, floor is fine. She's good.
Now, what makes this dish so unique? It is different from any other seafood soup because you add the Sprite.
I used the wrong pot. I need a bigger one because I did not read the recipe the whole way through just now, and I need to add a bunch of water, so ta-da!
It gives it a different flavor, another layer of flavor in fact.
It's always a good idea to clean your mussels. I'm gonna be making more mussel jokes, just be warned. Clean.
I have 6 sisters, 4 brothers, and I am the youngest. So my mom would make this, and then my oldest sister.
I gotta get my mussels pumped now with this fish sauce. That's how I do my mussels. I'm gonna taste it. We're gonna do like a little, because fish sauce goes a long way. A little more fish sauce. Oh, better. More fish sauce though.
My mom and my oldest sister were the ones that taught me how to cook.
Time for the Sprite, the soda of the soda episode. Whoa, whoa, whoa. God, I haven't had Sprite in a while. Okay, half a cup.
The Sprite, it gives it a different layer of flavor.
Who'd have thunk that? Not me.
You could taste the sweetness and the lemon flavor in the end. This is so special to me because my mom and my sister, they had both passed away. This is a light comfort soup for me. I hope you enjoy.
I think this might be my first time having mussels in the non-French style, which is really exciting. I'm a huge fan of mussels. Obviously I tasted the broth a little bit, you have to, but I didn't taste it after the Sprite. And the Sprite has added a surprising hint of sweetness. You would never think that you put soda in this, but there's a little something something. The soup be bubbling now. Yum. This was so simple to make. I have to put it down so I can eat my mussels. Yum. Sorry for the slurping noises. I know some of you really hate it, but I don't know how else to eat a mussel without slurping. Was that quieter? I'm obsessed with the broth. Ooh, that was slurpy. Sorry. I think mussels are an entirely underrated seafood because, at least in America, they're so cheap and they're so delicious. There's a bit of this dish that still tastes kind of French style because of the tomatoes and the onions and the garlic. The ginger does add a little bit of something, but I think it's the fish sauce that gives it a more South Asian twist, and the Sprite is lending a little bit of fun sweetness to it. I would say 10 out of 10, and this was so simple to make that I will absolutely be making it again and eating the rest of the pot that I have for dinner later because yum.
Hi, my name is Monica and I live in Metro Manila here in the Philippines. Today I'll be talking about the Pinoy hot dog barbecue on a stick that's served with manang sauce. Manang is a term of respect that's used for an older male, and it's manang sauce in reference to the vendors that would hawk their various street food that pair well with this specific sauce. This is a hot dog on a stick, no buns necessary. You would need a charcoal grill to make this, but in case you don't have access to that, a stovetop grill would do just fine. You will also need a basting liquid that's made of 2 parts banana ketchup and 1 part vegetable oil. As for the manang sauce, it's a slurry of soy sauce, water, vinegar, brown sugar, and some chilies and garlic. Eating this reminds me a lot of my childhood. After school, after playing with friends, it's just around the same time that vendors start setting up their grills and hawking their street food. It's one of those snacks that kids would gravitate to because hot dog was a familiar food versus the innards and the offal cuts that usually make Filipino barbecue street food. And I think people should try it because it's pretty simple to make, really. And again, the sauce goes well with a bunch of other fried food. So if you're craving for a hot dog but don't want the heaviness of the bread, then this is it. It's sweet, savory, smoky, and all those yummy flavors that you decide to put into the sauce. So I hope that you like it and that more people would try it.
The cooking for this got off the rails pretty quickly. I thought that I was being so smart using my flat pan. I was like, look, the sticks will be fine. First of all, they were burning, and one of the sticks burned completely off. And then the whole thing just started burning. Like the hot dogs were burning, and maybe this is these look like frostbitten fingers.
It's a little burnt, but
visually, I could have done better. I'm
not gonna lie, that might be one of the best hot dog bites I've ever had. And I've had a lot of hot dog bites. Whoa. I'm pretty sure I've made this sauce before when I made kwek kwek. It's very familiar. It's kind of like a sweet and spicy soy sauce flavor. One of the ingredients in this dish, banana ketchup, has a really, really interesting story. So I'm gonna tell it to you because I love a good food history. So you need to start the story in 1898 when the Philippines was under US occupation. The one thing that the United States did bring that was kind of interesting was tomatoes. The problem was, in World War II, a tomato shortage occurred, and by then, Filipinos loved ketchup, so they needed a replacement. A food scientist named Maria Orosa came up with this: banana ketchup. This banana sauce is not made with the typical bananas that you might think of. They're actually made with Saba bananas. They're a lot thicker and like starchier. She combined those bananas with a bunch of spices, vinegar, little red food dye, and ta-da! Banana sauce, aka replacement ketchup, was born, and it's become a huge part of the food space in the Philippines ever since. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Just like be careful of the sticks.
Hi, my name is Caroline.
I'm Alma.
And we're from Fairfield, California. The dish we want to talk to you about is Turon.
It's almost like an egg roll, but sweet and caramelized, so it's a dessert dish. And the inside has Saba bananas, but we can't find that here, so
we just use plantains. Yeah.
And then sugar and jackfruit, and you just roll it up in almost like an egg roll, and the outside is caramelized and nice and crunchy.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah. You don't eat it with a dip, or I never have. And we eat it typically with our hands. They serve it in the streets in the Philippines, or a lot of people have it in parties at home.
Turon is definitely a staple in the Philippines. Most Filipinos love sweet snacks. And so it's like the perfect combination of sugary sweet with local ingredients. I love Turon because it's addicting. The jackfruit, the saba, the sugar, and just encased in this lumpia makes the perfect like merienda or snack.
Yeah, and it's so nostalgic, I think.
It is.
It reminds me of gatherings with family and friends and just that good feeling. Like you just look over where all the food is set up, and then there's always that like tray
of turon. Yeah.
And you're always like, all right, it's time for dessert.
Yeah. It's easy to make and it's delicious. Like, what else can you ask for?
Okay, I'm trying to also go right now with like a little bit of like a spooky vibe because of Halloween. Anyway, very excited because I finally got to use the ripe jackfruit that I cut up. And also watching Alma and Caroline talk about this and eat it. Hear that? That's gonna be crunchy. This is gonna be loud. Huh. Well, that wasn't graceful. Jackfruit on its own honestly tastes kind of like a mango and a banana had a baby. Whoa. Who came up with this idea? I want to know. They're like, let's take some fruit, healthy, cover it in sugar, roll it in paper and deep fry it now. I like the way they think. This one kind of looks like a little more caramelized. Ha! One day I'm gonna learn my lesson, but I don't think that day's today. Huh. I just want to say to everybody, like, eating on camera is humbling and it's terrible because, like, when you're eating in front of other people in a restaurant, people aren't just like focused on watching you take your bites. Right now, you guys are just watching me eat. I can't look cool eating something so hot. When I first started rolling these, I really didn't know how to do it, but then I read the instructions. Delicious, absolutely love them. 10 out of 10 would recommend to family and friends. Except that, like, it's hard to eat. It's hard to eat nicely.
my name is Carmel and I'm from the Philippines, specifically in Pampanga, which is the culinary capital of the country. The dish I'd like to share with you is called iscramble, or ice crumble in English. Iscramble is essentially a shaped ice dessert served with different toppings. The shaved ice contains condensed milk and banana essence. Traditionally, the ice is pink in color and is topped with powdered milk, mini marshmallows, and chocolate syrup. I like how the banana essence and condensed milk taste so perfect together, and I especially love it when I get surprise bursts of powdered milk in my bite or when the marshmallows get chewy too. This dish reminds me of hot summer breaks when I was in elementary school. My friends and I would play outside under the scorching heat of the sun, and when the scramble vendor Kuya comes, I would immediately run inside our apartment to get money, then run back outside to chase after him because by then the Kuya vendor is meters away from me, which is silly now that I think about it because I could have just asked for him to wait for me. And I know what you were thinking earlier. Philippines and shaved ice, you know, oh, it's halo-halo. But halo-halo is great and iconic, but the child in me loves scramble more. It deserves its time to shine because it's a classic street food here in the Philippines, and for many of us Filipinos, it has become a part of our childhood. So you should definitely give it a try.
First of all, Carmel and I are wearing the same top. I was just really excited by that. I was like searching through my closet. I was like, I have the same top. Okay, also, this looks like the dream of like a 7-year-old. I love the marshmallows and the rainbow sprinkles. All right. Ooh. I spilled. Whoa. Oh my God. Okay, this one is very much my jam. I kind of want a mini marshmallow with this. Oh. Because I had to like chew the marshmallow, I had to chew the ice. Ooh. It was like painful and then sweet and then yummy. I really like the flavor of this ice. I know a lot of people are probably like, where's the halo halo? I made it once prior, I think actually last summer, so you know, looking for something new. And I'm gonna link the video here and in the description as well if you wanna see me make halo halo and learn a little bit more about it. I've never had banana extract before and I did not have high hopes for it. I thought like, banana flavor is never right. Just like grape flavor is never ripe. Right. Strawberry flavor, I do think does like a pretty good job mimicking strawberries, but like whenever I have a candy that's banana or grape flavor, I'm like, you missed the mark. This doesn't taste like a banana for sure, but it also doesn't, it tastes quite nice. And the condensed milk, oh, I like the fact that the ice was flavored and you didn't just like add the syrup to it because it makes the whole experience like really lovely. This is very soft ice. It feels like snow. It's not crunchy at all. It is fab. Reggie! Damn, he's in the shower. I'm actually filming on a weekend, so he wanted to try it, but maybe I'll just, you snooze, you lose. This one's bomb. I probably like could skip out on the chocolate sauce because it kind of overpowers the banana condensed milk flavor, but I do like the marshmallows and the sprinkles. This one, yummy.
Hi, my name is Erica. I live in London, but I grew up in the Philippines. In the Philippines, it's common to have rice cakes for New Year. One of them is palitow. Palitow are sweet and chewy rice cakes shaped like small patties. It's super easy to make palitow. Its 3 main ingredients are glutinous rice flour, water, and sugar. It's then coated in sesame seeds, grated coconut, and more sugar. The name palitow comes from the word litaw, which means to float or to appear. Making them is quite fascinating. You cook the rice patties in boiling water and you'll know it's ready when it floats to the surface. Its signature earthy, nutty, and sweet taste comes from the grated coconut and sesame seeds. Meanwhile, its chewiness will sort of remind you of Japanese mochi. In my country, sticky rice cakes like palitow are traditionally eaten during the New Year. It's commonly believed that good fortune will stick to you throughout the year, and it can even bind your family closer together. It brings back so many good memories, and I think food is one great way to relive past moments.
I'm very excited to taste this one. I wanted to sneak a bite, but I was like, no, I'm gonna do it on camera. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Wow. That's good. I can't believe I made a sticky rice cake. I feel very impressed. Making this was a bit of an uphill battle. I actually struggled a lot. I think it was hard for me to get the dough consistency right. The first one I made was a monster. I don't know what I was doing. It was so big. It looked like a tongue. I was like, ooh. Even though I put like my best foot forward and show, very kind of neat, and it looks like I made each dish perfectly my first try, it's not true. If you do want to try to make this, you do have to use glutinous rice flour. You can't just use normal rice flour because the normal one will not give you the sticky rice cake. The sesame and sugar on top is also really good. The unsweetened coconut gives you like yummy coconut flavor, and the sugar helps brighten it, but it's not like a saccharine dish, I do hope that good luck will stick to me. This tastes amazing, but more so, I just can't believe that I made this one myself. I feel very accomplished.
I hope one of these dishes inspired you to learn more about the Philippines. Until next week, I'm leaving you with our Filipino grocery store tour and 24 hours of eating Filipino food so that you can explore even more what this country has to offer.